All right, it looks like Republican senators may have been unsuccessful in their attempt to convince President Trump to lay off the tariffs. Now, some GOP senators met with the president yesterday to talk trade and to make their case against any more tariffs. Our own Jessica Smith is live from D.C. with all the details of what happened in that meeting. Hi, Jessica.
Hey there. About 6 Republican senators were in that meeting, and I checked in with some of them to see how it went. They said they discussed a range of issues from China trade to USMCA to auto tariffs. And the main takeaway that I got was lawmakers were trying to convince the president to take care of the steel and aluminum tariffs, to get past those, and they wanted to convince him to avoid auto tariffs. Senator Chuck Grassley again told the president if he does not lift the steel and aluminum tariffs, USMCA, the president's revised NAFTA, will be dead. He does not think Canada and Mexico will approve the deal with those tariffs in place. And on auto tariffs, the president is supposed to decide what to do about those tariffs by May 18th. Senator Johnny Isakson from Georgia, his office told me that he really focused on urging the president not to put those tariffs in place. A spokesperson told me he warned the president that moving forward with tariffs on foreign automobiles will hurt the American economy, and Georgia's companies will be forced to decrease capacity and delay planned expansion if the tariffs are imposed. The spokesperson told me that the senators discussed other ways the administration could achieve their goals without auto tariffs. Senator Rob Portman also told me that he was focused on auto tariffs going into this meeting and convincing the president not to do it because he says that would hurt his home state of Ohio. But the president did not seem to be too receptive to this message. If you are going by his tweets here, the president tweeted just shortly after the meeting that 232 tariffs make Pennsylvania and USA more prosperous and secure by bringing steel and aluminum industries back. Tariffs are working. So if Republicans really want to convince the president to back off these tariffs, it seems like they still have some work to do.
Hey, Jessica, so right now these tariffs are being raised as a part of this national security issue. That's how the president was able to raise them. But there's legislation, right, that's going to be able to rein in that presidential power. I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about how that's going.
Yeah, Senator Rob Portman wrote legislation that would rein in the president's authority on national security tariffs. And Senator Pat Toomey wrote a similar bill, but it went a little bit further, took away a little bit more power from the president. And right now, the Senate Finance Committee is trying to find a compromise bill. So that's what they're working on at this point. And I suspect that came up in the meeting yesterday. Senators didn't tell me that, but I would guess it came up because you saw the president call those tariffs 232 tariffs, and those are tariffs based on national security. So he was very specific there. Senator Rob Portman has talked to me several times about how important he thinks this is. He wants to get that legislation passed before the president does anything on auto tariffs. Don't know what's going to happen with auto tariffs at this point, and we haven't seen the compromise bill that Senator Grassley, the chairman of the Finance Committee, wants to come up with, but that's definitely something they're working on.
Jessica, thanks so much. Good stuff.
Of course.